All right, folks. We picked up some 1x1. Should be more than enough to do everything I want to do under the hood. So I feel like we'll recap from the last video what we all did. Well, what did we do? Well, we fixed the hood. We fixed stuff there. The last thing I was doing was welding this up. And what I chose to do, I don't know if I mentioned it, was add a filler strip. I wanted to weld it, but the hood stepped down. So I basically cleaned it as good as I can. We splayed some rust converter into the middle of it, and then I added a sliver and we welded this up. So that's where we last left it. Before I had grabbed a bunch of heims. So I have, well, a bunch of my burnt heims, but we freed them up. They seem to be mobile again. So this is out of, well, these were in my shop before. So anyways, our plan is going to be using these. There's some adjustability, but I don't have any jam nuts. But if we get it close, I can kind of, well, one side's probably a standard nut. One's reversed. I might just zap those just so they don't loosen or do anything. But the plan is to basically build a flip hood from garbage, basically. So I'm going to use those. Some 1x1. We're going to cut some brackets, attach it to the original cross brace in this hood. So it's going to be kind of a longer, a higher flip, which I'm okay with. Hopefully if it holds, the hood will just dangle, like just float and not touch anything. That's my plan. We'll see. So I guess the first thing to do, roughly, I might just tilt the one side of the hood up so I can get a good measurement from the rad cradle to wherever this hood brace is, because that's where I want to make some structure, or that's what I want to use as my pivoting point. So the idea, I think, let me get my glove off, is our rad supports here. I'm going to put a heim to a bracket right here. So when I crack the hood will still open and close like normal. Somewhere around here, from the pictures and things I've seen, I want to put like a little bearing that's going to sit, or bearing, or something is going to sit in a slot. So it'll probably ride, the slot will probably ride and then come up a little bit. So I can open the hood, this back can slide off of it, and then we can just pull the hood and it'll flip over. Sounds simple, right? I'm trying to do it for very little money because, I don't know, you can buy universal ones. I think the ones I've seen are around 400 US, which is a lot. I hope to have not even a quarter of that into this when I'm done. The only difference though is I do have a plasma table and a few things that'll make my life a lot easier, but I'm sure there's ways around that. You can just cut and grind. Anyways, chatting long enough, let's start working. I almost need to get in there. I'm by myself and I'll get stuck in there. I think I'm going to blindly just have to cut a piece and see. I'm thinking I want something about 30 and a half, 30 eye to eye with my heims. So we made these rods, kind of zapped the ends in just temporarily right now. I don't know if it's the final product. I heated these up, bent them, because the idea is I wanted these tabs to sit here when the hood is up and over. I wanted the arms to kind of swing the hood away. Looks like it's going to be really tall the way I'm starting it, but I guess we'll see how it works. Next thing you're going to do is I'm just blindly going to zap these things on, and hopefully everything just works. We're going to have a connector in between everything, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to try it and we'll see what happens. There's got to be a better way to do this, but I don't know how. Oh, we need to shorten this up. Either way. Try to do the same on this side. Oh yeah, we definitely have to shorten that. Okay. Now's the real suck. Trying to do this by myself. Okay. Pablo's no help, so. sort of binding already. But we can fix that. Like, it's not right, but sort of works. Just needs to go back more. I can adjust our heims to do that, so yeah. Not exactly the way I wanted it to go further back, but well, I guess I'll spin it out and we'll see what happens here. We have adjustability in there. That is that's awesome. We need more on this side, but that's awesome. I like it. Holy crap. All right. It works. Hey, who'd have thunk? That's great. All right. Well, we need to make a cross brace, so I'll be darned. All right. So I lifted this up. Like, most of my idea like works the way I thought. I just don't know, like with the air cleaner, everything there, I'm thinking we'll just have to do a connector from here. Maybe I'm gonna just blindly zap something across, see if it keeps the hood rigid, and so it doesn't walk side to side. Trim this a bit. Nothing changed. Pop our hood. Pull. little bit of bindage, but it's rigid. Well, I'll be darned. I like it. Well, I am happy with the way this turned out. My goodness, that is not that complicated. I mean, it is somewhat complicated, but it's not. Once I realized that the rod length doesn't really matter, because, you know, like I say, when you get to this point, it doesn't matter. Like, we'll just get our hood lined up. I guess you could do it lower. It's a little, well, the hood's not very heavy, so for me, it's just easy. I just open it like I would normally, and then pull it. So the next thing we have to do here, just because we don't want the hood to close and then drag across my fender, we'll have to come up with some kind of a track for the hood to rest on, and then it'll slide into a lock position. So I plan to just use the hood hinge that's here, so I think that'll be just fine. Oh, now that I think about it, I have some of the hood bolts. Look at this. I don't know, I lost all the other bolts, but I do have these, and it does have a wee little slot in it. Hopefully I can get that to line up with something. So if we thread that in, we'll have something that we can like ride. I guess ideally if I can get a bushing on there. I don't have a way to do that, but I think if I can get that to slide on a piece of steel, or should I make that further? I don't know now. I don't know. I think it should be pretty simple. Alright, well, I got an idea. Next step is basically, here. My thought for the next round is, in this vicinity, we'll have a rail that goes like this, that when I open the hood, or I put the hood, when I start to close the hood, I have somewhere for it to rest and line up on. From there, as I push the hood back, it'll drop down into its position, and then there'll be a little hook for it. So I'm thinking just a piece of plate, something like this. And then when it's all the way back, this will keep my hood like, so it doesn't, the back doesn't open. And then when I pull the hood, when I open it, it'll crack like normal. That little pin will roll down here a little bit, and I can open it like normal, and then when I pull it to me, it'll just kind of just follow. I don't know. It's what I see that people use. Some of them just use round bar or round stock. I have a plasma table, so I'm just gonna try to see what I need here. I gotta factor in how much this is gonna move and stuff. Well, we are learning things. So I think my problem is where my original idea where I want this is too far forward. We're gonna have to move this location back here further so that when you pull up on the hood, it wants to slide on this rail. So we basically tried doing cardboard CAD, was trying to do that. We mirrored that to this roughly. It seemed to be good, like that is where the hood is, but what happens there is when I lift, the hood pushes down on here. So I think I got to move this point to over way back here, you know, however we decide to do this, that when we lift the hood, it's going to try to pull it away. So it's got to start doing this ramp up almost instantly. So we got to kick her back. I think come back here to about in this vicinity. Like this is where that, I feel like that is where here is. So we need to go somewhere in this vicinity is where we're going to have to make this thing go. So maybe I'll just trim this and actually just zap it to the truck, and it'll just be a permanent piece with the truck, provided this other stuff does what I want it to do. I don't know. We still don't know what we're doing, but I'm going to trace this out, and then I'll zap this on, and then hopefully this system will work. I mean, I feel like this should be further out, but yeah, it's my truck. I know what's going on, so we'll figure it out. folks, after much screwing around, I'm happy to say it got to work. It actually latches. You lift, it pulls away. We do our thing. Mint. And then the close. You go, hits our tracks. She's a bit of a slammer. But win. That is awesome. Well, I am really happy the way this turned out. We got to do a whole lot of cleanup with stuff, but the hinges are pretty, or the latch is pretty straightforward. When we close the hood, I couldn't go much further. It just doesn't work. The pins will barely reach it, but anyways, it touches off, it goes in, it'll lock into that position down there. So that's good. Up here we have made it so there is some adjustability and stuff. We just had to move our point way back. That seemed to fix everything. So it's not pretty. Got to weld everything up, but you know, it actually works. It's pretty simple. I'm not too happy the way this part. I'm sure I can make a stop. I don't like how this hits my grill. So I'm not sure where we do something. I guess hindsight, something could flip out of there or do whatever. Or I just carry a rag and put a rag there. It's not the end of the world. This seems to work okay. I think I'm gonna do a little gusset in here yet, just for when the hood's hanging, and if it's windy, I don't want that to buckle or do anything. But other than that, yeah, we did boog them on, but I don't plan to take them off, so we just got to fix up around there, fill a few holes, and we're good. Right, buddy? We are good. Well, I'm happy. That took a good part of a day to do, but anyways, folks, I think this is where I'm going to leave this one. I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.